Hi, my name is Kaja Wynn, and today I conducted a survey on whether or not being a college student and being in a relationship is actually harder. From our parents to our mentors, we're constantly told as college students to not jump into relationships, to kind of wait until we graduate. Relationships are costly, it affects us on our academics, we'll fail. I mean, constantly negative things that come with being in a relationship while in college. So I wanted to conduct a survey to see whether or not these accusations were false or not. So I conducted a survey that didn't just target towards just college students in general, but just to everyone over the age of 18 pretty much. So the first question on my survey was, are you a college student, yes or no? I want to see how many people that are taking the survey fall under the caliber of actually being a college student or are enrolled in college. The next question was, are you 18 to 28 or 29 years old and older? I want to see how many students, how many people were 18 to 28, because I know that 18 is about the same age that a lot of people join college or enroll in college, is around the age of 18, and 28 is the cutoff date for people that were born in 1990, and then older than that, of course, is different. The reason why I did that was because my older brother is 28 and he was born in 1990, and we do share a lot of the same values and beliefs. So I wanted to kind of cut it off there, because I know for me and my personal experience that it does fall true that we are kind of on the same playing field as far as what we believe in and kind of our stance on a lot of things, and we're a little bit more liberal. And I know that my cousins and my peers that are 29 and older do fall under the caliber of being a little bit more closer to conservative. So I wanted to kind of break that up a little bit. The follow-up question to that was, are you single or in a relationship? So that kind of shows me how many people are actually taking the survey that are single or hitched, okay? And then the follow-up question to that was, are relationships, in your opinion, easy or hard work? And I feel like a lot of people will probably pick hard work, because me being in a relationship, I'll probably pick that one too. But I want to see how people thought about relationships. Do they think relationships are actually pretty easy if you make them, or just hard work? And I feel like that would just be kind of a show. I feel like that would kind of divide the survey, and kind of like, I feel like the people that would choose that easier would be more likely to say that being a college student in a relationship is not bad, and the people that did choose hard work would probably gear towards not being in an actual relationship while in school. So then the follow-up question to that was based off of my initial statement of parents saying that relationships are expensive and you're going to waste money in relationships. I need to be focusing on your books and your academics. So my next question was, are relationships, in your opinion, costly or not costly? And I want to see how many people really spend a lot, like, waste a lot of money, or just, really think that money really, defines a relationship, and how many people think that that has something to do with not being in a relationship as a college student. So that's why I chose that question, because that's something that my mom and my mentor have told me as a reason to not be in a relationship while in college, because we got to save our money for our books, because books are really expensive. So yeah, so the next question after that was, are relationships harder as a college student? And so that one, I chose the answer strongly agree, neutral disagree, and strongly disagree as my answer choices. So I wanted to see how many people really thought that being in a relationship are harder, and just see like where they felt like, I agree. I mean, I somewhat agree, I somewhat disagree, I'm neutral on it. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe that person wasn't in an actual relationship while in college, and just like it's neutral, they don't know what to specifically answer. So it's just kind of to give them that option, that choice, because some people really have never been in a relationship within college, so they can't really provide much insight on that question. So I did want to have that answer, so it can be those answer choices, so that question can be a little bit more broad and spread out to everyone taking the survey. And so the follow-up question to that one was, would you consider being in a relationship while in college? And that goes hand in hand with what I said before. So people that haven't been in a relationship while in college, or haven't even attended college yet, would you consider being in a relationship while in college? Like, how likely are you? So I did it where 1, 2, and 3 were, closer to more likely, 5, 6, and 7 were closer to least likely, and then 4 kind of ran between the middle, and they got the option to choose that. And I could see how many people were more likely to be in a relationship in college, and how many weren't likely to be in a relationship in college. And I was also intrigued because I wanted to see how many people answered that question that were not in college and not in a relationship. So yeah. And have you ever been in a relationship while in college was my follow-up question, because after that I just kind of feel like I needed to kind of narrow it down even further. Like, have you ever even been in a relationship while in college? Because I had the first question, one of the first questions I asked were, are you in a relationship and are you a college student? Which probably answers itself, but have you ever even been in a relationship while in college? Because some of the people taking the survey are graduated, because I did open it up to 29 and older. So somebody might be 45 and they actually have been in a relationship while in college, but they're not currently a college student. So I kind of wanted to give them that question so I can also even narrow it down. And then the follow-up question to that was, if yes, has being in a relationship hindered you from making good grades? And that's the biggest stigma that comes along with, in my opinion, being in a relationship while in college. A lot of our parents and mentors say that you won't make good grades. Of course, we come to college so we can pass and we can, make good grades and get our degrees. So do you feel like being in a relationship has hindered you from making good grades and doing your best in school? And that one was an open-ended question because I wanted to hear feedback from the previous question. So if you have been in a relationship while in college, do you feel like it has hindered you and stuff? And so the follow-up question was, that would that be, do you regret being in a relationship while in college? I feel like this is a really, really needed question for this survey, because I feel like that alone will decide on whether someone's views on being in a relationship in college was based off of that, or based off of a negative experience, or based off of just old advice. So I wanted to see how people really felt like being in a relationship. Do they regret being in a relationship in college? And then the last question I asked is, if yes, is it because you didn't do your best, or for personal reasons that have no correlation to school or academics? And I want to ask that because, in my opinion, I do regret being in a relationship in college, my sophomore year, but that was the year I did really great academically. So it didn't hinder me per se, but for personal reasons, I do regret being in a relationship. I felt like it was just really stressful and it wasn't a healthy relationship. So yeah, so that was my survey for this class. I wanted to see how many people really actually think that being in a relationship is harder or stressful or just not worth it while being in college, and who thought like, hey, why not live your life? Relationships aren't really that bad. It just depends on what type of relationship. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this survey, and I hope you guys enjoyed this speech and video. Thank you guys so much.